We asked Reddit users a question and selected the best answers for you. Comments are left by different people and may contradict each other. What do women really think about men's instrument size? 1. I don't like anything too long as it hurts my cervix when they try to go deep and hard. Average size is nice. Too skinny is honestly a turn off for me. It's nice to feel full and a little stretched. A smaller D can still feel good as long as it's super hard. Erection quality makes a huge difference regardless of size. 2. Bitches love seafood till I whip out the shrimp. 3. I don't care if a guy had a small D as long as he doesn't have a horrible attitude because of it. 4. It's a factor in good love, not the factor for good love. What I mean is, instrument size isn't totally irrelevant, so saying size doesn't matter is a little bit misleading. The thing is, though, women have varying preferences. There are size queens, and there are women who genuinely love small instruments and everything in between. And size definitely doesn't make or break good love. To throw you a tired but endlessly true line, confidence is sexy. Own what you have and be a good lover. 5. I have never worried or thought about my partner's tool size, not once. I have, however, had moments of alarm upon realizing the length of their fingernails. 6. I'll tell you right after I pick up this rubber I dropped for my magnum dong. 7. My wife says, I've slept with big D's. The only thing they have in common is they think because it's big, they can be lazy. I prefer average. The guy actually puts in effort and it feels much better. 8. My GF told me that a small tool is not a problem and will not affect our life, but I really wish she didn't have a tool. 9. I'm a lesbian and can only speak for myself, but having slept with men before, I'll chime in. It doesn't matter much. Too big can be uncomfortable in a couple of ways, including pain from being stretched out and having my cervix pushed up against. With good communication, a man's instrument size has never been an issue for me. Men's bodies are beautiful. 10. Before I lost my virginity, I was really insecure about the size of my D because I had only seen other Ds in adults' movies and they were all way bigger. Turns out, average size is average for a reason. Those giant Ds from adults' movies are kind of impractical and I'm sure girls are not enjoying them as much as they are acting it out. Hearing, oh, you're punching my cervix in the middle of these is kind of a turn off. 11. My ex told me she wished I had an 8-inch tool. I laughed and told her that I don't fold my tool in half for anyone. 12. There is bigger and smaller kitties just as there is bigger and smaller Ds. I like being average because that makes me compatible with pretty much any. The truth is, love is not unimportant and size matters, but bigger is not always better. You should care less probably. 13. It matters to a certain degree. Most women don't want humongous tools cause it hurts, but if it's too small, you can't feel much unless they're seriously good at working it, which usually isn't the case. Average to a little above average is usually fine. 14. Unless it's huge or very small, I don't really think about it at all. I once dated a guy who was transfixed with the idea that men constantly worried about how large, small their instruments were. He was the only guy I ever met who could take an innocuous comment about something unrelated and spin it into how I was possibly insulting someone's manhood. It was very odd. 15. 2 length doesn't really matter. What does matter is length times diameter plus weight over girls divided by angle of the tip squared. 16. Size does matter, but I'd rather hook up with a guy that has a smaller D and knows how to use it than a guy with a big D. Honestly, whether he knows how to use it or not, because my experience with big guys have all been pretty painful, even when they try to be careful about it. Really, average is best, but skill is what matters most, and being able to listen because a lot of guys don't. 17. I've never been with a guy and thought, gee, I wish his D was bigger. But I have been with a guy and thought, this is too much, I'd rather be with someone smaller. Being with someone too big for you can cause discomfort, pain, or even physical damage, not to mention that a bigger D is harder to blow. 18. Learn how to go down on a girl, right, and she probably won't care. 19. I think the preponderance of women preoccupied with male genitalia is not proportionate to male Redditors' wishful assumptions. 20. Kitty is different size, so it's going to be different for every woman. For me, there is definitely such a thing as too big. My current dude is a solid 7. Maybe right on the verge of 8, and I'd say he's on the edge of being too big for me. A 6 and 7 is the sweet spot, personally, but smaller than that has also worked out great. I've definitely tried to bang a monster D or 2 in my day, and it was too much. One guy left me unable to sit comfortably for a solid month, which might sound kind of sexy, but when that's the outcome of one attempt to have this, I'm not going to be wanted to do it again. I know guys never believe that they can possibly be big enough, but trust me, you can, and more than likely are.